here with Anaya, or many of you will know him as Young Wonder. So without further ado, yeah, so tell us about yourself. Who are you and where are you from?
I'm originally from Bronx, New York. I came down to Virginia 20, not even 20, I would say like 2009. And we moved because like my mom, it's like a struggle everywhere. A struggle everywhere, but she was like, I don't want to deal with the city struggle right now. My brother was going through a lot. It was just, at the time, a lot for her to deal with. So she was like, I think we should go to the country where it's a little slower, easier pace. We could control things a little better. So we moved in like 2009. We moved to Chesapeake, Virginia. And that's when I started to see the Virginia scene, which was different from New York, which is, of course, that's a different place. In Virginia, I seen like anything I do here, like if it's football, if it's basketball, if it's music, whatever they do, it seemed like more of a collective support with anything. Even like this interview, I got this through collective support, people who share passion, people who, oh, you do that, I do that, let's do that. Like even in New York, it's a bigger place, so we meet people every day. It's not taking it serious.
So it's a lot more scattered in
It's more scattered.
city.
That's a great word. Okay. It's more scattered. With Virginia, I felt more of a family thing.
Community here.
Community, okay. Yeah. So that's how I got here. When I got here in 2009, we was in Chesapeake, and I've been around. I lived in Chesapeake with my mom. When I got older, I moved to Norfolk. I've been to Portsmouth for a little while. I've been around the cities, but not everywhere. I'm not like, oh, I've been everywhere, but I've seen enough of Virginia to know it's just a lot of love out here too.
That's cool that you say that now, especially after, I'm not sure if you went to the Something in the Water.
I've been around the event, but I didn't participate super in it.
Because it seems like the energy that was there was like very much community, very much family, like that was the whole focus of it. So
that was my
like
point.
That resonates.
I was trying to tell people that like that displayed it more than I could ever say. You get what I'm saying? That was a big world could see what we talking about when we say Virginia. What's Virginia about? Be able to show them that time.
Shout out to Pharrell for putting it on the map like that.
Yes, shout out.
Yeah. So how do you think that that's influenced your music? So coming to Virginia and really feeling that community atmosphere. Do you think that's influenced your music at all? And if so, how?
In a major way. That's really what I give credit to. If I was in New York and I was to pursue music the same way, I don't feel my focus and my drive would be the same. Because we come from Virginia, everybody from Virginia knows what it takes to get out of Virginia. And that's the extra work I feel gets put in here. We know what we have to do to get out of here. In New York, other places, LA, it's a little easier. You don't have to put as much effort. I feel the effort that it makes the confidence. And this is why we are the way we are. And that's what we just direct it wrong, I feel. That's what I want to preach about. Let's direct it positive. I feel like it's limitless after that.
Yeah, and what's so interesting about that is that, like in New York, there's a lot more people and opportunities and stuff, but I guess because it's scattered, maybe you don't have as much access to it. But here, it's technically more scattered because it's like country and stuff like that, but because of that, people come together more and
come together more. It all is enhanced here. That's why I say you're able to focus on anything you want to do because it's not so much pressure of a city, of the pace, that slowness, that country. It's okay to be that, but that's why I love Virginia because it's the middle. It has up tempo with country to it. That's why I feel like this is like a real center point. It could be a bigger Atlanta. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm just glad to be in Virginia. Something in the water is going further now. This is the time for that.
Right.
Virginia's time. So I'm just happy.
Yeah, so speaking of music, tell us a little bit more about your music. Does it carry some of that slow vibes that you were talking about within your music too?
I love this part. Yeah, I love this question because music is, I tell a lot of people like music is not a real thing. It's not. It's a real thing. What I mean is not tangible. It's not something we can grab. So it's literally like in the air. It's a sound. It's created, and then you're able to play it over and over everywhere you go. So people like Michael Jackson, when they're able to go to India and they don't speak the same language, and he performs and people feel, they felt him more than they heard what he was saying, and they felt that thing he created. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like music is something that it can control people. That's why I go with. I make vibes. I don't make like a song. Just how I feel that day. How this song, this music, how this come together makes me feel. My words come after that. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes they don't come out. It's always gonna be words at the end of the process. But the beginning, how I feel, how I create, how all of this plays, that's what I feel like makes me different in music. Because it's all real life in that moment. It's not like always, we get a lot of things like given to us. This is how you should do something. This when you break boundaries, I don't have a boundary with my music. If a rock band came in right now, I would love to make music with you because you understand your language. We can talk to each other. Music is one language. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I say that I like to leave the language open. There is no, oh, I make this, I make that. You get, if you make sound, you make music. You get what I'm saying?
Woo!
Yeah, I just wanted to sum it up for you. Like,
who else is feeling that energy? Oh man, that's so beautiful.
thank you.
That's
That's
so,
art. See what art is about?
Yeah, that's so
Beauty.
nicely worded.
Thank you
And
so much for understanding, because that's what us is all about, understanding. We need to all understand each other.
yeah,
And that's why I'm very hurt about the Nipsey situation, because he kind of was leading the way for unity. Unity is important because I don't want to spoil you. I hope everyone's seen the Avengers, but I'm going to just say unity is very important. They all had to be one for that plan to work, or one mistake could mess up everything. That's what I'm saying. So just giving it back to Nipsey, I feel like somebody has to be the person. Let's just really be pure with it. And that's why I say I don't want to force it like, oh, I don't make songs that curse, or I don't make songs that not curse. I'm too positive. I'm above that. You know, it's not about that. I'll do a gospel song today, and tomorrow I'll make a club banger. You get what I'm saying? It's about uniting all of these people, right? Because this person is related to this person.
And you know what's funny is that with unity, I think sometimes people misconstrue unity to be like conforming, like everyone becomes the same. But really, real unity is when we recognize the multidimensionality of each person, and then make space for each part, each dimension of each person to be present.
The most beautiful thing to me is like the love between, like, let's say a gangster and his mother, or like, you get when those bonds are realer to me, because like you said, it's not just standard. That's real love. In most cases, like when somebody's that beats expectation. You get what I'm saying? That's what Nipsey represented, beating expectation. Oh, he's a crip. Oh, he's gonna fail in life, and you succeed. And then when we talk to you, we can feel that you're genuinely about this. You get what I'm saying? Genuine. I think that needs to be run back to the world. That's the problem. We're not being real when we say we want to change. You know, I really want to see, like I told you, somebody fall in love with their mother again. That's a beautiful bond. We don't know that too well. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. I don't want us to be defeated as a people. I really feel like music can do that. Music can change how people feel about things. I feel like time is moving forward anyway, though, so it's like it's inevitable. It's inevitable. Music is inevitably going to come to a point where there's an understanding, at least musically, we all want. You get what I'm saying? Pop turned into hip hop, regardless of what people want. You get what I'm saying? Auto-tune exists. Inevitable. You get what I'm saying? So that's like I'm just saying that to say, like, a thug will listen to a soft song that you would consider melodic. You get what I'm saying? That's an R&B song,
right.
Melody.
And it's really the constructs that we have in our minds about what people listen to or don't listen to, like or don't like, love or don't love. That's flawed, not the actual people and what we have the capability of loving. You said something really interesting. You said you don't make music, you make vibes. And as someone who was kind of like a science nerd in the past, there's some real truth to that. Like music ultimately is like a set of frequencies, right? And all of this stuff. So when you say that you make a vibe, I think there's more accuracy to it than not. And also, what do you think about intention? So like you said, your lyrics come last. So when I'm thinking about the energy that you're exuding through your music, I also wonder about the intention that you're setting for your music to be communicated through your music, with words or not. So do you have a practice or do you set an intention for different songs that you do or write? And what does that process look like? Like what energy do you want people to feel from your music? And how do you plant that within your music?
When you say my intent is always like, I know when I listen for music, because that's all we can do is do things off the experience. So when I always listen to music and I get excited when I go home and say, I want to hear this song. When you go through when you first open your phone and you pick that song, that's what I mean vibes. Those are different feelings. So now when you say my intent is when people see my name and they click. When they listen, I want them to always listen to the words. Because that's what I said. I make my music in a form that I know my melody, right? My rhythm, my pocket, certain things that I'm going to do. That feeling that I told you I lay emotionally will always be there. So my last thing is always my words because I know my mind is complex. So you have to limit yourself. Limitations help you get things done. If my mind is limitless, that's too much to say on one record. So I have to set a limit. That's my limit. That what I told you, the first creation, the first part of the process where I just give emotion, that gives me a limit now. I know what I'm going, la 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 la. Now my words, my mind is gonna say, what does this, like you said, the intent of this record. You get what I'm saying? Every record has a different intent. That's what I mean too. That's why collaborations exist. Different things exist for different messages, different times in the world, different a party day, my cousin's birthday, my mother appreciation. I'm happy I'm living. I just signed a record deal. You see what I'm different intent, but it's always the same. I'm uplifting. You're gonna always feel empowered listening to my music. That is my intent. If I would underline something to be there to answer your question, intent would be empowerment. You're gonna feel energy when you listen to me. You're gonna feel I can go do something. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's amazing.
That
part.
Yeah, that part.
So, yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're a really thoughtful and dynamic artist who takes your artistry really seriously. And, as someone who loves the arts and a consumer of a lot of music, I think it's starting to become clear to me, like, that intent. Because there's some music that, regardless of what the content actually is, like, you feel good. Like, you feel hyped. And like, I want to clean everything.
Honestly, I'm jealous of people who can do that. Like a Kodak Black. We all know we can't judge people. So we can pass you when we see, okay, your heart is pure. You might not say the right thing at the core. And this is what we love about your music. It's no filter on that. You're being honest, Kodak Black on the music. See, you might have to go in the interview and change who you are. But when you get to record, you be a real person, and that's what we love. That's what we go through our iPod and click for. Not the interview Kodak. You get what I'm saying? So
that's a really good point. Yeah, ultimately, music is kind of or whatever your artistry is a way for you to be unapologetically yourself and be accepted for that art no matter what. Yeah.
That's why I said vibes. I'm releasing my vibe of that day, or what that beat does, or whatever comes in that studio.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like the world needs. It just needs real things again.
For sure. It needs the human connection.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, for sure. So tell the audience, tell us about a high point story that you've had over the past 12 months, like a time this year that you're really proud of yourself, really proud of your artistry maybe, or something you feel good about.
Well, I can say something I feel very good about. I'm like on this road that I walked of this being an artist. I've been learning a lot of things, like every day. Life teaches you every day, but when you choose to set your life in a certain path, like I said, I want to be an artist. Period. There's nothing else I know life calls me for. That's when a lot of things started to let me know, like, okay, if this is what you want, this is what you have to do. So, like you said, being proud of something, walking that path, like courageously, I've learned that I have to really. I'm doing more better than I allow myself to feel. You know what I'm saying? Like people really, like I said, this interview is a blessing to me. Like everybody, it's about putting yourself out there. If you don't try for real, you can't fail for real. I didn't go to my limit. I'm 35 and the world said, "Ooh, we don't want you." That's failing in a way. That's still really not failing, but I know that I'm not putting my super best foot forward yet. And because of that, even to the point that I'm at now is a great point. You get what I'm saying? So I know that I'm very excited about my future because I know how to do this now.
That's awesome.
You know, right?
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
And that's something
I feel guided better now.
Yeah.
In place.
That's awesome. I think it takes a lot of courage and a lot of like clarity and a lot of time to recognize, okay, this is what I want to do and I'm going to commit myself to it. But I think ironically, it seems like the moment you do that, the moment you say, oh, this is my thing and I'm going to commit myself to it, it seems like all the doors and things that align just like kind of open. Although it does also, I feel like right before breakthrough, things also crash in like really heavy.
And that's what it prepares you for the whole time.
Yeah.
So you're strong through that. If you didn't go through anything, you can't get weak.
Yeah.
You can't feel alone. You can't feel drowned out. You can't feel pulled in. But if you've already been through that, you know that tomorrow exists. So I have 24 hours to change that. That's what I'm saying. My 24 hours become way more powerful. That now that I know my power.
Right.
That's
awesome. Okay, so then my last question for you is, what do you want to see? Like, what if? Oh, you know what? Matter of fact, let's say that a year from now, you and I are at a dinner table, popping a couple bottles of champagne. What would we be celebrating for you?
Be celebrating.
In an ideal world, if everything, if you did your thing, what would you be celebrating?
Honestly, my plan is to like always be at the top of it because I only love music. That's my thing. I'm not in it for. Of course, who doesn't want to be popular? I would love to be popular, but that's my thing. I want to be popular for music. I want to always be the person that I want to hear his new story. I want to be that. I want to be celebrating a new album that just dropped. You get what? We still excited about my music forever. Michael Jackson, he went out forever. He even is the best musician of his, of his category. You know what I'm saying? Like, because people always gonna have their preference. I'm not trying to own the world, but there's people like a Drake that do own a lot of the people's pick. You see what I'm saying? So I know it's possible. That's what I say. I have to. That's my goal. You know what I'm saying? To always be at the top of music. Period.
Awesome. Well, you like I said, I mean, it seems like you're just someone who's so conscious and, you know, aware and kind of living in gratitude as you make your artistry. And I think when you're functioning from a place of gratitude, it's always going to create positive things. So thank you for your music. Thank you for your intention to empower us all. And I know that in about a year, we're probably going to be celebrating a drop, and it makes me excited. So thank you. Yes.
Young niggas living they prime, giving them truth in the rhymes. Know this is all a design, cause everything perfect with time. Knowing it gotta be time, cause I done been out of my mind. You gotta be real with yourself, cause niggas gon' switch every time.